Students, hope you all are hale and hearty. So, the thought for the day is success is the sum of small efforts repeated day in and day out. Our today's topic is The Plaint of the Camel, the poem composed by Charles Edward Carroll. See what you can see in this picture, a camel who is crying and something is happening in its hump. Might be it is in pain, it wants to make some complaints. So let's know something more about the camel. The camel is a fascinating animal, means it attracts everyone's attention with a special ability like going without food and water for long periods. That is the reason it is also known as the ship of desert. The word camel has been derived from the Latin word camelus. See, my dear children, there are many English words that have not been originated as English words. They have been taken from some other words. Similarly, this word camel has been derived from Latin language, and the word in Latin language originally is camelus. It means going without water and food for many days. And when we saw a creature like camel, this word fit him so well that this creature was started being called camel. The camel has been domesticated thousands of years ago. It was used for many reasons, and people are dependent on it even today. It helps us to pass through the hot deserts. In this beautiful poem, in spite of being so useful, the camel complains regarding its food, dwelling place, about its feature. Now, dwelling place means the place of living. About its features means its appearance, that how does it look like. Let's know something more about the poet who has composed this poem, The Plaint of the Camel. Charles Edward Carroll. He was born on December 30, 1841. He died on July 3, 1920. He was an American poet who has written mainly children's literature. Carroll's Davy and the Goblin expanded the realms of possibility in American fantasy for children when it first appeared in serial in 1884. See, my dear children, this goblin character you people might have also heard. It's a very famous character. So what does it mean to say that in America there was a serial aired on TV, and the serial was inspired by the book written by Carroll. The name of the book was Davy and the Goblin. His poems, The Sleepy Giant and Enveloping Window Blind, are featured on Natalie Merchant's 2010 concept album Leave Your Sleep. Now, who is Natalie Merchant? Natalie Merchant is a singer, like you people have seen Mika sing in India. Similarly, she's a woman, she's a singer, she composes her own albums, music albums, and her music album named titled Leave Your Sleep has been inspired by the poems composed by Charles Edward Carroll. The name of the poems are The Sleepy Giant and The Enveloping Window Blind. Let's know something more about the poem. The poem is composed by Charles Edward Carroll. It is a complaint of a camel. First, it complains about the food given to it by comparing with others. Then it complains about the place it sleeps. Then in the third stanza, it complains about the home given to it. It complains about people riding on it, and at last it complains about its looks. This is the very nature of humans. My dear students, yes, this is the very nature of us humans. We never learn to appreciate what we have, but we always keep complaining by comparing ourselves with others. We don't feel happy with the things that we have. Let us look all around us. We have such beautiful things, but we ignore them, and we always want the things that are not there with us, that are there with others. because sometimes what we feel like the grass is always green at the other side. No, it is not so. Let us look at our own feet. You will find that your grass is greener than the other person. So stop comparing yourself with others. Be happy within what you have. Now, in the first stanza, it compares itself with canary, bird, parrots, and potters as to what all are given for eating, and it says because it can digest anything, no particular diet is followed. Means in the first stanza itself, it complains about the food that is given to it, because it feels that other animals, other creatures, other birds are given some special kind of food, and it is given anything to it because it has good digestive system. In the second stanza, it complains about its sleeping place. It compares itself with cats, chickens, puppies, and oysters, which have particular place to sleep, but for camel, any place is okay. In the third stanza, it complains about the dwelling place. Dwelling place, I told you, the place of living. It compares itself with lambs, coops, kittens, and pigs, all of which have a particular place to live, but it has only sand as a dwelling place. Means it where other animals live in their home, particular home, but it is not given any home. It is left in the sand itself to pass its day and night. In the fourth stanza, it complains about how people use it as beast of burden, because many people carry load on it, and many people travel sitting on its back, and some sit on its back just for entertainment, just for fun. Any amount of weight can be heaped on its back, or any amount of people can ride on it, but no one rides on giraffe, ox, rabbit, or fox. Its complaint in the fourth stanza is that many people ride on its back, but nobody even think of riding giraffe, ox, rabbit, or fox. In the last stanza, it complains about its features. Features means how it looks. It says that it is all made up of bumps. Humps means it has all bumps. It is very uneven. Anywhere it has a great fat, great mass of fat, and it is very uneven. It does not have a sleek shape. It has somewhere its shape is up, somewhere it is down. It is very uneven, and it has humps. It has some camels have one hump and some have two humps, whereas the other animals like snake, weasel, alligator, lizard, they all have sleek feature. They have sleek body. They look beautiful. So these are the 5 complaints that the camel is making in this poem. Now, what is the theme of the poem? Animal, the poor camel. While most creatures are prized, pampered, or at least tended to, down to the lowly pig. Means even the pig also tended very well, if not in India but in other countries. You bring a pet dog, a pet cat, a pet rabbit. What you do? You feed them with your hand. You give them bath with the best shampoo. But as far as camel is considered, nobody treats him with love, with care. Nobody give it a bath with a good shampoo. Nobody feed it with his own hand. This is what is a complaint made by the camel in the poem. The camel is our beast of burden, left to thirst, forage, and sleep in the merciless desert. Means it is given whatever is found to eat. Whatever is available, it is given to eat. It is not, nobody thinks about the camel that it might feel thirsty. It sleep in the merciless desert. Why merciless desert? Because desert is hot in summer season, extremely hot. It's like burning, and it is left in the desert to provide service to the human people, to the humans. Now, humor. Humor, I told you in the previous poem also that what is humor? Humor is something that makes us laugh. Here I have put a smiley that can also give you a hint. Humor throughout the poem lies in the way the poet makes the camel complain almost everything about him. Now, rhyming scheme. Let's see what is rhyming scheme. Rhyming scheme is the pattern of rhymes at the end of each line of a poem or song. It is usually referred to by using letters to indicate which lines rhyme. Lines designated by with the same letter are all rhyme with each other. For example, see whatever words are rhyming with each other, I have made colored them in red color and I have put the rhyming alphabet in front of them. Candy birds feed on sugar and seed. Now feed and seed, they both are rhyming together, so I have written A. Parrots have crackers to crunch. And so as for the podders, they tell me noodles. Now see, podders and noodles, they both rhyme together. Have chickens and cream for their lunch. Now crunch and lunch rhyme together. But there is never a cushion about my digestion. See, cushion and digestion, these both words rhyme together. Anything does for me. It is not rhyming with other things, so we have given it E. So A, B, C, B, D, E. This is the rhyming scheme of the poem. The same rhyming scheme, the same pattern is being followed throughout the poem. Now sound word. Which sound word have we learned in this poem? That is crunch. And some more sound words are given at the back of the chapter. In the exercises you will find them and you should learn all these sound words. Now what is crunch? When we eat some chips or kurkura, what happens? When we press it between our teeth, what happens? We get a sound like crunch sound. Now what is the moral of the poem? The moral of the poem is the poet tells the reader the virtues of being good and successful. The reason why we suffer from insecurities because we compare ourselves with others. Rather, we should try to stay positive, show gratitude, compassion, and try to be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself that you can never be another version, but you can only be a better version of yourself. As we all know that comparison is a thief of joy. So what is the moral of the story is that we feel insecure. Why? Because we compare ourselves with others. This comparison, making comparison with others is the biggest problem of our life. Rather doing this, what we should do, we should try to stay positive. Means if a negative thought comes to our mind, we should generate at least 10 positive thoughts to kill that one negative thought. So that we should always have a positive approach, positive attitude. Show gratitude. We should show gratitude. We should show gratitude. We should be thankful to others, to God, Almighty God, to our parents who are doing so many things for us. We should show compassion. We should show our love. We should try to be gentle with yourself. We should try to be gentle with ourselves. Why ourselves? We should not pressurize ourselves too much. We should not think too much. We should be happy within what we have. Nowadays, we all are there in our homes during this lockdown period, and we are making ourselves comfortable, happy without going outside. So there is no need comparing yourself with others, because others are also doing the same thing as you are doing things right now during this lockdown. See, this is the poem. Candy bird feed on sugar and seed. Parrots have crackers to crunch, and as for the podders, they tell me the noodles. Have chickens and cream for their lunch, but there is never a question about my digestion. Anything does for me. Cats, you are aware, can repose in a chair. Chickens can roost upon rails. Puppies are able to sleep in a stable. An oyster can slumber in pails. But no one supposes a poor camel dozes any place for me. Lambs are enclosed where it is never exposed. Coops are constructed for hens. Kittens are treated to houses well heated, and pigs are protected by pens. See what a cute pig. But a camel comes handy. Wherever it is sandy, anywhere does for me. People would laugh if you rode a giraffe or mounted the back of an ox. It is nobody's habit to ride on a rabbit or try to bestraddle a fox. But as for a camel, he is ridden by families. Any load does for me. A snake is as round as a hole in the ground, and weasels are wavy and sleek, and no alligator could ever be straighter than lizards that live in a creek. But a camel is all lumpy and bumpy and humpy. Any shape does for me. So thank you, my dear children. Have a nice day.